Hello, I'm Sarah Bennett, coming to you from the Okemo Valley TV studio. This is the first episode of my video commentary show, See the Scale, where I'll be introducing you to varied collections of musical albums, while also providing an in-depth evaluation of the contents of each record. And today we will be looking at ATO's Side A and Side B mini projects. ATO is a UK-based rapper, singer, songwriter who has put out a fair number of EPs since 2014. Around 2015, he ended up becoming friends with Jonathan Eng, also known as Eden, my personal second favorite musical artist. And they ended up working together from then on, John's voice being rather common across ATO's EPs and singles. In 2019, ATO released his EP 3, an 8-song EP that seemed to feel more like a complete project with common themes of living in London, his relationship with family and friends, introspection, and anxiety. After releasing 2 independent singles in 2020, Side A was released on August 25th, 2021, a 5-track release with a runtime of just under 13 minutes. A quick listen if you have time for sure. And that's where I believe lies the strength in ATO's releases. They are short, sweet, and leave you wanting more. So without further ado, let's jump right into the tracks. Zyman's starts off the EP with light vocals and a bouncy beat that perfectly outlines ATO's inflection on the opening bars. The track feels alive and moving during the verses, cutting to quiet string plucks for the chorus, in which the lead melody is instantly catchy. The topics he seems to cover are interesting, seeming to be about his outward confidence and the feeling of finally being able to support his friends and family financially, although the lyrics don't come off as gloaty. You feel like you're in the process of celebrating with him. The track continues like this all the way until the end, feeling shorter than its 2-minute 45-second runtime. Up next is Muscle Twitch, starting off with a slightly less bouncy beat with looping wide synths that make the track sound like it's in a cavern. He touches on what sounds like anxiety, writer's block, and the state of his dreams and goals, stating, "My dreams burn like nicotine. I'm just here until it fades out. Watch them all care now. Time moving slow." The third track, No Caroline, starts off immediately with an instantly catchy, bouncing track, with more electronic synths latching onto each beat, followed by a heavy drum bass. He then lays on a falsetto chorus that instantly catches the listener's attention, while layering it into the beat so naturally. No Caroline seems to be about a past relationship, but it doesn't seem to be a sorrowful song. ATO seems to recall events from the past as very matter-of-fact, seeming to transition to confidence and maybe a step before arrogance, detailing lines like, "Telephone me, I just let it ring," and "You just like money, you're going to like me," implying this girl maybe only was with him for financial stability. About halfway through the track, the tone shifts as well as the music. The instrumental changes from a bouncy, repetitive loop to something a lot more focused and introspective. Waving synths intro this side, eventually giving into an incredibly fast, pounding drum machine. This side of the song shows him battling ghosts, detailing troubles with mental health, and the stress of relationships with his life in the city, as well as his mother's battle with cancer, and ending the verse as basically a love letter to his brother. I personally love this track. It was my top played song of 2021 and stays in high rotation for me to this day. The fourth and penultimate track is titled Garabee Way, somewhat of an interlude even on a short project like this. Highly distorted drums and synths start off this track, with ATO's distorted voice coming in. The track has a feel like it has been left to rot, limping its way onto this EP, which I should clarify is not a bad thing. The previous track, sounding bouncy and polished, makes this one stand out on the record for sure. ATO seems to be speaking rather harshly about life on this song, possibly showing the harshness of the streets he lives on in London, or the attitude of the people that call it their home. He seems to be out of character, but he isn't out of place, and it isn't disorienting to hear. The track fades out just as quickly as it feels it had started, leading on to the final track, Nobu. Synth strings pluck away on the start of this track, and ATO's voice is quiet and melodic as the vocals start to layer before the chorus. The track then continues with him speaking on a couple more feelings in relation to relationships and partially the fakeness of social media. Verse 3 sees him reflecting on his recent past, speaking on being unsure about where his life would be while he attended university. Near the end of the track, he refers to wanting someone again, maybe the girl from No Caroline, or maybe a different part of his life he hadn't yet covered on the EP. The last word of the song, Fade, as the trumpets outro the track. So that was side A, a short introspective project, but certainly full of content. After its release, he dropped a remix of No Caroline with another British rapper, Flohio. I hope I'm saying that right. That release was followed by 2 singles that would be featured on side B, with the second project itself releasing on July 29th, 2022. This project is just over 14 minutes, being about the length of side A and also having 5 tracks. The EP starts us out with Cold, sounding immediately like darker, more serious production. The lyrics seem accusatory about fake people in his life. On the chorus, he remarks about how his heart is turning cold like the streets he inhabits, but he still enjoys it even though he knows their effects on him. The second track is titled New Balance, leading with high wall synths and another bouncy beat reminiscent of Zyman's or No Caroline. This track seems to be more club dance oriented on the chorus without losing the truth or frankness that lines the verses. He remarks on the song about how he would do anything for the subject of the song, maybe bringing new balance into his life, finally. The third track, Straight Light, starts with a bit of spoken word and glitchy production, with the beat being made of an insanely heavy drum bass and spiking hi-hats. The lyrics touch on the fakeness of material possessions, and while he does enjoy them, in his dreams is where he can really feel complete and imagine a future life he enjoys. The track feels pretty short and fades out with a little more spoken word, informing us that he's completely happy just sitting in his room and spending time by himself, because that's where he feels complete. Quartz is the name of track 4, which starts off with a pulsing synth that sounds almost like an alarm, immediately catching the listener's attention. The beat comes in with some dark production, with ATO detailing his life and how much it changes, while also explaining that how you view your life and perceive it is incredibly important to your enjoyment. The siren-like sounds continue through the fast instrumental, creating a sense of urgency. J Bod features on this one, tying up the last leg of the track before the closer. The outro track, fittingly named Outro, starts out with a fast beat and light poppy synths. ATO on this one shows himself as very introspective, relating his life to always being on the outside of things and hiding from certain pains. Although his goal of creating music becomes the centerpiece of his life, giving him motivation and purpose, and that makes him happy. The drums cut out for the outro, with ATO giving a motivational spoken word, speaking on his family and friends once again, claiming love for them. And with that, the last song fades. ATO shows through this track list his talent by getting you to relate to different parts of his life on both projects. His interesting instrumentation created for a different mood every track, making each one memorable. Although everything I have said so far has been positive, I still do have a couple problems with ATO's style of music. Throughout his discography, his tone stays mostly the same, besides when he uses some pitch changer to bring some life to the track. The downside of this isn't really as bad as you think it would be, with instrumentals competing for the highlight of the track against his voice, but still his similar tone across projects makes his rhyme schemes sound the same and sometimes even dull. Not that they're bad, I do in fact enjoy most of his flows, but if he were to bring more energy to the tracks, they would be leagues better. And that leads me to my rating. Across side A and side B, I think ATO has earned himself a major 7. I'm Sarah Bennett. This has been See the Scale.